Hall of Fame matchup in the championship match at the PBA50 Pasco County Open. I'm Jeff Goodger, soon to be joined in the booth by Jean-Marc Manzione and Mike J. Laneside. Norm Duke will get things started. Opening strike for Norm Duke, and I am now joined, as promised, by Mike J. Laneside, Jean-Marc Manzione. Gentlemen, it's tough to pick a winner in this one.
The reason I have Duke is I think Duke is going to take the straighter line to the pocket. I think Amleto, because he's going to be hooking it a little more, is, in my opinion, more vulnerable to that one errant shot that may set him behind.
Monacelli Duke for a title here in Central Florida. Powerful strike from Amleto Monacelli, and we're underway. Get a look at the tools of the trade. A little too quick that time. Bookend Hall of Famers on the PBA Tour competing for the PBA50 title. Jean-Marc, I'll go the other way just for sake of argument.
Sure.
A lot of second place finishers from Monacelli. Last season, perhaps he wants it just that much more.
Yep, very possible. And when Amleto wants something out on the lanes, he usually gets it. Very tenacious mental game.
Duke a double on the board, early advantage title match at the PBA50 Pasco County Open. Big thanks to everybody at Lane-Glo Bowl, Newport Richey, and the great support of Central Florida for their support of this event. Third frame, Duke on the double between second and third arrow. Splits the 8 and the 9. Three strikes for Duke. Strike spare, working third frame now. Hall of Famer Amleto Monacelli. Single game title match for the winner. And he drills the pocket.
Ball tried to check up on him, but found just enough push to hang on. And I expect Amleto to adjust off of that shot too. I know he doesn't want to flirt with coming up too high again on the right-hand lane. I'd probably be looking for more ball speed on the right-hand lane from Amleto next time.
Two members of the Dallas Strikers, as Norm mentioned in your interview, Jean-Marc, and a third joins them, Rhino Page in the house, also from Central Florida.
Reminiscent, Jeff, of the time Axe and Smash found themselves contending against one another in the Royal Rumble, of course.
Crossover for Monacelli. Carries the off hit. Interesting, John Mark, that the tighter line may prove as Monacelli cashes in big on the break, crossing the head pin.
Yep. Yeah, Norm, you know, when all the chips are on the table, Norm goes as straight and direct as possible. That's his A game, and he's going to stick with it, and I think he's going to succeed with it today.
Asking for it to hold off, and a 4-pin. There will be no perfect game in the championship match here. Lenny Borish won in his debut on the PBA 50 Tour. Randy Peterson turned the trick last year. Now Norm Duke trying to add his name to that list.
That's one thing Norm will not do in this match is miss a single pin spare. I think I can pretty safely assume that.
All right, there will be no perfection here. Fifth frame, championship match, PBA 50 Pasco County Open, opening the 2014 PBA 50 Tour. Norm Duke in his first event of eligibility, looking to run it all the way for his first PBA 50 title. Fifth frame. Light and a split.
Oh boy, I didn't see that one coming, folks.
2-8-10.
Wow, just got a little firm at the release, it seemed.
Now Norm has a kind of release that is capable of making this. He can throw it's a backup type release, not a full backup, but more of a reverse spin.
I expect him to go for the wood here, though. We'll see.
Nope, he goes for the conventional 2. Almost kicks it around. So open frame for Norm Duke. Monacelli can seize control, double working, fifth frame.
Yeah, like I said,
and the 10-pin last to fall.
I was looking for more ball speed on the right-hand lane after his last shot there. That's exactly what we saw. He piped it up the lane on that shot, and the results speak for themselves. Yeah, and Amleto is going to be looking to stomp all over that open frame that Duke just handed him, so things are getting interesting now.
Crossed over here last time. A little deeper angle, and a good result. String of strikes for Amleto Monacelli. Duke after the open frame, and a flat 10.
And right now, of course, what Norm Duke is thinking is John Mark just had to pick me, didn't he? Just freaking pick me in the title match. It's the only reason why he's struggling now, as we know.
Well, how do you go wrong picking either?
That's true.
And especially on a fresh pair.
This game's not over yet, though, guys. Lots of time left for Norm to pull it back together.
2:45 left for Duke.
Yeah. And we've seen some crazy breaks, haven't we, boys? I mean, lots of pocket 7-10s, balls just not whiffing the head pin stunningly without any discernible reason or explanation for it. So things have been wacky with the transition here at Lane-Glo. Anything's possible.
2:45 left for Duke. 7th frame title match, PBA 50 Pasco County Open. Right over third arrow.
Wow.
And he drops the rack. So Norm doing what he can do.
Yeah. I mentioned earlier how versatile Norm is with his hand positions. He seemed to be firm at the release on his last shot on the left-hand lane, and they're putting lots more hand in that shot, and the ball found its way back as a result. Beautiful shot from Norm on the left side.
Monacelli has had an errant shot in this match. It crossed over for a strike.
And I think he's got another one in him, but we'll see what happens. Now, expect him to throw high and hard again here. Lots of ball speed on the right-hand lane.
Four-bagger working, 7th frame. Light.
Yeah.
And a 2-pin.
Yeah. Risks overthrowing it on the right-hand lane with all that ball speed. He worked up in response to that 2nd frame 9 count. And the ball checked up on him a bit.
Good spare conversion. 149 through 6 and a 24-pin advantage for Amleto Monacelli, seeking his 3rd PBA50 title against fellow Hall of Famer, fellow Dallas striker, Norm Duke. Final 3 frames from Lane-Glo Bowl.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Wow.
Pure.
Unbelievable.
Yariba.
That ball found its way back from out of nowhere. What a shot by Amleto on the left-hand lane. And that was his allegedly tighter lane, by the way.
To Duke, minus 24. Goes to the rack.
Now, he left a flat 10 last time. I expect him to invest a little more hand in this shot at the release.
2 strikes,
There
cuts
you
the
go.
lead to
That's
single
what we
pins.
saw.
And that gets too much of the nose,
Yeah.
3-6-10.
Yeah, put a little too much into it at the release, caught too much of it in response to the flat 10 he left on the last shot. So we're seeing overcompensation for errant shots by both players on the right-hand lane now. And Norm has to finish on that lane.
Fills the frame. Still down 24 pins. Best Duke can do now is 225. And Amleto pacing at 229. Final few frames here at Lane-Glo Bowl. A big chance to thank the host here, Gary Beck from Killer Bee Promotions, for putting on a first-class event to kick things off here on the PBA 50 Tour for 2014. Here's Duke.
Ball change. Wow. Wow.
Same result.
Yeah. Yeah, he turned it over a little too much at the release as he was gesturing there. I think Duke was a bit spooked by that flat 10. He's really trying to put a lot into it at the release and maybe doing more for the ball than perhaps he needs to. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Well, there
As
goes
Duke walked into the semifinal, now Monacelli on the verge of a victory lap here. 201, best Duke can do. Nine out will do the trick. Amleto Monacelli will win his 3rd career PBA 50 title. Late fall of the 4. Monacelli continues where he left off last year.
Absolutely.
He dominated. He led qualifying and won a major last year, but did not cash major titles in. But now he's got the first of the 2014 season coming through an incredibly talented field with 2 Hall of Fame credentialed rookies in Parker Bone III and his mate in this title match, that man, Norman Duke. Not often you get a breathe a sigh of relief in the 10th frame in a title match, but it will happen.
One last strike for your Pasco County Open champion, Amleto Monacelli. And now Norm Duke will finish the match with strikes of his own. Coming up at the end of this match, Jean-Marc Manzione will have an interview with our champion, Amleto Monacelli. And why not? Might as well go for it in this situation. Immortalize yourself with a spinner.
Congratulations to both these great players.
Norm Duke. Well, this is just blatant cheating right here. Norm Duke gives the crowd something to cheer about. The blatant cheating, picking up the 7-10 split. That'll be a 0 technically, but it's a spare in our hearts.
All right, I'm here with 2014 PBA50 Pasco County Open champion, Amleto Monacelli. Amleto, one of the joys of watching the PBA50 Tour is getting the chance to watch guys that we grew up watching on the so-called Kids Tour bang heads yet again at this stage in their careers. What is it like for you to be contending for a title against a guy that you did bang heads with on the Kids Tour for so many years?
Well, I mean, it feels like we're back, 20, 30 years ago. The competition is there, we feel it, and that's why we're still here. But it's a great feeling to feel, when you're nervous, to get a shot and, do the best you can. And that's something that I believe 99% of the people that are here, they're still doing it, and well.
And you mentioned a great feeling. I imagine it's also a great feeling, Amleto, for you to be beginning this season with a title in your back pocket right off the bat, especially after last season where you bowled so sensationally well and yet didn't necessarily record that success in the form of titles. How does it feel to be now on the other side of that coin, beginning the season with a title in your pocket already?
Well, I mean, it feels great, actually, because I've been paying a little more attention to the bowling balls that I use. Like Ebonite International, using the track and all the 4 brands that they have, and knowing more about, the ball itself and knowing when to use it in the right time and how to play with them. And that's something that I've been learning actually not too long ago, since I went to the Powerhouse Clinic in Argentina a month ago. It's very interesting because I really never paid that much attention to it, and I'm a field bowler. But today's game has changed so much, and you need to have a little more. You need to know what's going on with the lanes and the changes, and I think the reason why I got here and won this tournament, I believe it because I did the right thing at the right time with the surface of the balls and the type of ball that I was using, considering the surface that we bowled on.
And speaking of things that are changing rapidly, not only is ball technology changing rapidly, but so is the composition of the PBA50 Tour. It seems every season we see a new big face appear. This time we have Norm Duke and Parker Bone joining the action. Just how tough is the competition getting from one season to the next, Amleto, with one big name after another surfacing, becoming eligible for PBA50 Tour competition?
Well, that is something that is definitely true. You know, the competition is getting every year tougher and tougher. But I believe that that's something that really most of these guys, they don't really think about it because they all know that even though it's going to come to the end and making good shots and doing the right thing like, you know, I did this week. But definitely the competition is getting tougher and tougher.
All right, congratulations, Amleto. Great bowling. All right.